Formulas that warm the interior. Li Zhongwan, regulate the middle pill. All ingredients. Ganjiang, 9 grams. Renshen, 9 grams. Baizhu, 9 grams. Jigansao, 9 grams. Regulates yang qi, warms the middle burner, strengthens spleen and stomach. Indications. Warms the middle burner from cold from deficiency. Diarrhea, watery stools, nausea, vomiting, lack of thirst, loss of appetite, abdominal pain. Tongue is pale with a white coating. Pulse is thin and submerged. Indications could also include bleeding from the nose, vomiting of blood, or excessive menstrual bleeding, or bleeding from the rectum, or internal bleeding, with pale blood, with cold extremities, and a pale complexion. Bleeding is due to yang deficiency of the spleen and stomach. Other indications are chronic childhood convulsions with cold hands and cold feet and vomiting and diarrhea, and spitting of frothy saliva during recovery stage of an illness. Other indications are pain in the heart region, or focal distension in the heart region, or sense of fullness in the chest, or pain in the hypochondria. Also sudden turmoil disorder. Cautions and contraindications are: do not use for externally contracted disorder with yin or deficiency or fever. And for sudden turmoil disorder, stop use once the vomiting and diarrhea has stopped. The most important indications are abdominal distension or pain with a soft abdomen that is not relieved by belching or passing gas. The pain is mild and chronic and not acute. Other key indications are abnormal stools. Some Western illnesses, but not exclusively these Western illnesses: peptic ulcers, digestive problems, IBS, chronic dysentery, IBD, such as ulcerative colitis, also allergic rhinitis, BPH, gastritis, bronchitis, vaginitis, pelvic inflammatory disease, exudative eczema, and dermatitis, upper GI bleeds, allergic purpura, functional uterine bleeding, some types of chest pain, including CAD. Some modifications: for severe vomiting, add Shengjiang. For bleeding due to yang deficiency, substitute Paojiang for Ganjiang and add Huang Qi and Dangui Erjiao. For heart palpitations, add Fuling. For butterflies above the navel indicating kidney deficiency with water qi encroaching upwards, remove Baizhu and add Guiji. For vomiting of thin fluids, add Baizhu. For severe signs of cold, add Fuzi. For coughing, add Jibansha, Chenpi, Shishin, and Wuweizi. For cold-type jaundice, add Yinchen. For yang deficiency bleeding, add Huang Qi, Dangui, and Erjiao. For wheezing, fullness, edema, and reduced urination, combine with Wuling Sun. Wujuyu tongue, Evodia decoction. All ingredients: Wujuyu 9 to 12 grams, Shengjiang 18 grams, Renshin 9 grams, Datsao 12 pieces. Warms and tonifies the liver and stomach, directs rebellious qi downwards, stops vomiting. Indications: Yangming pattern with vomiting after eating, gnawing hunger, acid reflux, no epigastric pain. Jueyin pattern with dry heaves, spitting of clear fluids, and a vertex, headache. Shaoyin pattern with vomiting, diarrhea, cold hands, cold feet, and agitation that is so bad that the patient wants to die. Tongue is red. Pulse is thin and slow or thin and wiry. Cautions and contraindications. Take the decoction cold to keep from vomiting it up. Patients should rest after taking decoction to minimize side effects of headache. This decoction can be used for the following Western illnesses, but not limited to these Western illnesses: vomiting with clear fluids such as gastritis, acute gastroenteritis, cholecystitis, morning sickness, pyloric spasms, and perimenopausal vomiting. And also illnesses with excruciating headaches, including migraine headache or neurogenic headache, or headaches from intracranial pressure, hypertension, and trigeminal neuralgia and Meniere's disease. Also eye disorder with pain accompanied by nausea and vomiting, corneal ulcers, conjunctivitis, acute congestive glaucoma, and gastritis, peptic ulcers, chronic hepatitis, chronic cholecystitis, bacterial dysentery, and ulcerative colitis. Some modifications: for morning sickness, add jibansha and sharan. For a severe headache, add chuanxiong and dangui. For severe coldness, add huajiao and ganjiang. For severe epigastric pain, add danshan and mushang. For palpitations and insomnia, add dangui and fuling. For acid reflux disease, add walang tzi and hai piao xiao. Xiao Jian Zhong Tang. Minor construct the middle decoction. All ingredients: Yi Tang, which is maltose, 18 to 30 grams. Guiji, 9 grams. Xiao Yao, 18 grams. Jigansao, 6 grams. Shengjiang, 9 grams. Datsao, 12 pieces. Warms and tonifies the middle burner and moderates spasmodic abdominal pain. Indications are intermittent and spasmodic abdominal pain, abdominal pain that is better with pressure, and abdominal pain that is better with warmth. Possible low-grade fever, palpitations, irritability, cold and sore extremities, dry mouth, dry throat, pale or lusterless complexion, and reduced appetite. Tongue is pale with a white coating. Pulse is thin, wiry, and moderate. Cautions and contraindications. Do not use for immune deficiency heat. Can be used to treat the following Western illnesses, but not limited to these Western illnesses: chronic gastritis, peptic ulcers, IBD, inflammatory bowel disease such as ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease, autonomic dystonia, chronic hepatitis, cholelithiasis, chronic nephritis, benign prostatic hypertrophy or BPH, and migraines. and can also be used for palpitations and dizziness, anemia, hypoglycemia, and hypotension, and leukemia, hemolytic jaundice, thrombocytic purpura, enuresis, fevers of unknown origin. Some modifications. For severe cold, add Rugwe and Guiji. For qi stagnation, add Mushang and Jinei-jin. For diarrhea, add Baiju. For roundworms, reduce Yitang or maltose and Baishao and add Wumei. For abdominal fullness or nausea after taking formula, add Chen Pi and Sha Ren. Da Jian Zhong Tang. Major, construct the middle decoction. All ingredients: Huajiao 3 to 9 grams, Ganjiang 12 grams, Renshen 6 grams, Yitang, which is maltose, 18 to 30 grams. Warms and tonifies the middle burner with deficiency, directs rebellious qi downward, alleviates pain. Indications are excruciating epigastric and abdominal pain, pain that is worse with pressure, a strong sensation of cold in the epigastrium, vomiting. Tongue is a slippery white coating, and pulse is thin and tight or slow and wiry. This is a combination of deficiency and excess. Cautions and contraindications. Contraindicated in cases with internal clumping or damp heat or yin and blood deficiency. Can be used for the following Western illnesses, but not limited to these Western illnesses: chronic gastritis, gastric ulcer, duodenal ulcer, chronic pancreatitis, chronic cholecystitis, urinary calculi, intestinal spasms, and intestinal obstruction. Some modifications. For roundworms, reduce maltose Yitang and add Wumei, Binglang, and Jijunzi. For nausea, add Jibansha and Shengjiang. For numbness of hands and feet, add Guiji. For more pain-relieving action, add Danshen, Yanhuso, and Mushang. Sini tongue, frigid extremities decoction. All ingredients: food C, 1 piece or 6 to 9 grams, Ganjiang 4.5 grams, Jigansao 6 grams. Rescues devastated yang, warms the middle burner, and stops diarrhea. Indications are extremely cold extremities, aversion to cold, lying curled up, lethargy, constant desire to sleep, vomiting, diarrhea with undigested food particles, abdominal pain and abdominal cold, lack of thirst. Tongue is pale with a white slippery coating. Pulse is submerged and thin or faint. Cautions and contraindications are contraindicated in cases with true heat and false cold, with cold extremities, with thirst and a desire to drink cold beverages, with dark urine and a red tongue with a yellow coating. Can be used for the following Western illnesses: cerebrovascular insufficiency and shock from a variety of causes, also severe digestive disorders, acute gastroenteritis, IBD, chronic colitis, cirrhosis, hypopituitarism, hypothyroidism, adrenal insufficiency, functional uterine bleeding, chronic prostatitis, intractable arthritis. Some modifications are for intractable arthritis due to wind dampness, add Rugway and Baiju. And for edema or leukorrhea due to cold from deficiency of the spleen and kidneys, add Dangshen, Fuling, and Zixie.